If you've landed here, then you're interested in finding a way to work in Europe. And for Americans, while it's not easy, I'm here to tell you that it's not impossible because I did it. In this video, I'm going to go over the 8 ways that Americans can find a visa or work permit to work in Europe. Hello, if you're new here, my name is Cepee, rhymes with peppy from SheHitRefresh.com. I help women age 30 and over break free from a life of routine and move abroad or travel the world long term. I myself made the move from Texas to Spain in 2015 when I was 35. I'm now 42, still here in Spain and living my best life. On this channel, I talk about moving abroad, specifically for US citizens. And I'd love to invite you to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and turn on notifications so that you don't miss out on any move abroad content. So you want to work in Europe. As I mentioned at the top, I'm living proof of an American who was able to get a work visa for Europe. But I do want to manage expectations. In my case, it took a lot of hard work, time, patience, and a lot of luck to get that work visa. And for most Americans, it's going to be an uphill battle to try to get that work visa, but it's not impossible. And in this video, I want to lay out all of your options so you know which may be the best path for you. But before I do, I want to give my weekly shout out. And this week's shout out goes to Enchantra Green, who commented on my video, The Best European Cities to Live Abroad for Americans, Part 1. So Enchantra says, "So glad I found you. I'm 41 and have been thinking of relocating to Europe for a few years now. I wasn't sure if I was too old to try and do it, but this gives me hope. Thank you." Yes, thank you, Enchantra. 41 is definitely not too old. You're still young, and I encourage you to make that leap if this is something that you really want to do. There are tons of people out there your age and older who are making the leap abroad. For anyone who'd like me to give them a shout out, please comment on this video or drop a question below. And you never know, you may be my next shout out here on my YouTube channel. All right, so let's dive into today's topic of the 8 ways Americans can work in Europe. All right, and the first option here is just the standard work visa or permit. So I do want to say that I'm going to use the words visa and permit interchangeably here. Typically, a visa is what you get before you go abroad, and it's basically permission to be able to enter a foreign country. And then once you're there, if you have qualified for a residency or work permit, then you would apply for your permit, which would be either a work permit or a residency permit, depending on what your scenario is. But for the sake of simplicity, I'm going to use visa and permit here interchangeably. So number 1 is the work permit. And as the name implies, this is a visa or permit that allows you to work in a foreign country. So it'll allow you to work in a European country. Now for Americans, this is extremely difficult to come by in the sense it's very difficult to get a company in Europe to sponsor you for a work visa. And this is because governments or countries in Europe are trying to protect their local labor. So what they have to do in order to hire you is to first prove that there's no one, not only in the country, but in the whole EU that has the skills to be able to do the job that you're applying for. So you can see why this is a bit difficult. And not only do they have to do that, but to hire an American, it can be a timely, lengthy, and expensive process. So 9 times out of 10, they would prefer just to hire local talent who already has permission to work there. So within the work visa umbrella, there is a work visa called the highly skilled or highly qualified visa. This is actually the visa that I was able to obtain to work in Spain. So with this visa, a company is able to hire you based on your specialized skills. And a lot of times those specialized skills will fall under the bracket of tech skills. So maybe engineering. It also may be in the fields of science and sometimes also managerial or above positions. So this really depends on each country. Each country is going to have different sectors and different roles that they may be hiring for, that they're required to find someone with specialized skills that they may not be able to find locally. Other factors that they'll take into consideration with the highly qualified visa is possibly what you have studied, also what school you went to. A lot of times if you studied in a prestigious university or business school, that might help your case also when applying for the work visa or applying to these jobs. And of course, the salary. So with the highly qualified visas, you do have to meet a minimum required salary to qualify for these visas, and also what role you may be hired for. So just because you meet all the requirements doesn't mean that you're a shoo-in to get the job, but just letting you know what kind of information is evaluated if a company is interested in hiring you and wants to sponsor your work visa. So in my case, while I was hired on the highly highly specialized visa, I don't really consider my skill set at the time very specialized. I was hired to work in a Spanish startup on their marketing team. I do have a background in marketing. I studied marketing in my undergrad and had worked in marketing roles from time to time. But I was hired on their marketing team. They were looking for an American, a native English speaker, but also from the US to do market research on the American or US audience. And so that helped my case that I fit that profile, but also because I went to a specific master program in Spain. I did an international relations master's, which is unrelated to marketing, but I went to a school called IE Business School, which is a well-known and well-renowned school here in Spain. So going to, I guess, a prestigious school, that also helped my case of getting hired. But again, in my case, I really consider it kind of really like winning the lottery. Like, it doesn't happen often. I think I really just got also very lucky in order to get that work visa. So to apply for a work visa in a European country, you will need to have a work contract or work offer or job offer from a European company employer, and that offer needs to meet the salary requirements that I just mentioned. And that will also vary from country to country. Some tips here that I do want to give. I think some people think that finding a job abroad, especially with specialized skills, is maybe as simple as just shooting a resume over and interviewing for roles. But I would say that that's pretty difficult. A lot of people who are getting jobs abroad happen because they are already here in some capacity and they have built a network, and it's through their network that they're able to get hired. And so that can be kind of a catch-22. In my case, I was living in Spain for a year teaching English on a government program that allows American citizens to teach English. And while I didn't find the job through my network, I had been here for a year applying for jobs and had just found out about different Facebook groups. And it was through one of those Facebook groups that I was able to find the listing for this job and apply. So I will say, if you're just sending resumes out on Indeed or LinkedIn, it may be really difficult to actually even get someone to bite. So you may want to find a way to spend time in the country that you're looking to move to and kind of get into the scene of the industry that you're looking to get hired in. If you'd like more information on work visas in different European countries, as well as which countries offer the highly qualified or highly skilled visas, please check out my book, my digital book, I'm Out of Here, an American's Ultimate Visa Guide to Living in Europe, where I highlight the 17 easiest countries to move to in Europe based on viable visa options. And there's over 50 visa options in there for you to check out. Not all of those are work visas, but that'll be a variety of visas, and there will be work visas and highly qualified visa information in there as well for each country. All right, the next option here, number 2 on the list of the 8 options for Americans who want to work in Europe, is a business startup or entrepreneur visa or permit. So I'm putting those all in the same bucket here. So this option is for anyone who's looking to conduct business in a foreign country or start their own business abroad. In order to attract foreign talent, some countries offer startup or entrepreneurial visas to those who have innovative ideas. It's important to note that business visas often require a significant capital investment, and also having the intention to create jobs locally, hiring employees, and contributing to the local economy. Some of the countries that have the most reasonable requirements for this are going to be Spain, Portugal, and France. And again, you can check my digital book, I'm Out of Here, for more information as to what the requirements are for these business, startup, or entrepreneurial visas. Number 3 on the list is the self-employment visa or permit. So the self-employment visa is different from the startup visa I was just talking about. This visa is for freelancers who intend to work with local clients in the country that you're moving to. So with the freelance visa, you don't have to have a company or start a company abroad. You could just be a freelancer working with clients. So if you're a freelancer who intends to work with local clients in the country that you're moving to abroad, then this may be a good option for you. Now, this shouldn't be confused with the business or entrepreneurial startup visa that I was talking about. That's more for small or medium-sized ventures. The freelance visa is more for solopreneurs. So some countries that offer the self-employment visa are Spain, the Netherlands, Germany, France, Italy, and the Czech Republic. And again, you can find more information on all of these in my book, my digital book, I'm Out of Here. Next on the list, number 4, is the digital nomad visa. So these are really cool. In the past few years, countries have started rolling out their digital nomad visas to meet the demands of the changing world, especially during the pandemic. A lot of people have gone remote and are able to take their work with them on the road. So with these visas, countries are offering income-earning foreigners the chance to reside in their country for an extended amount of time. And typically that's 1 year, and sometimes that can be renewed for more. So this visa is available to location-independent workers such as remote employees, business owners, and freelancers whose income is derived from outside of the country that they're looking to move to. Requirements for this visa include proof of income, and for Europe, that's going to range anywhere from $2,000 to about $4,500 US a month, as well as proof of employment, or if you're a business owner, proof that you own a business. So some of the most popular countries that have digital nomad visas in Europe are Croatia, Malta, Estonia, Georgia, Italy, and Spain are talking about rolling theirs out very, very soon. And of course, you can find information in my book, I'm Out of Here. And I do want to note that I do update my digital book with new information as new visas roll out. And so if you do purchase the book, you will have access to all of the updates. So for instance, last year when Malta released their digital nomad visa, I updated the book for that. And so excited to update the book once we get more information on Italy and Spain and whichever other European countries decide to roll out their digital nomad visa. Number 5 on the list is the Work Holiday Program visa or permit. So I actually talk about this visa in my other video, the 15 easiest ways to work abroad. So you can check it out there, but I'm going to give you the lowdown here as well. So a working holiday visa gives you the opportunity to live and temporarily work in a foreign country. And really vacationing is the focus of this type of visa, not so much the work. This type of visa is great for seasonal work. So think hotel concierge, retail worker, or farm work. This isn't necessarily maybe a career move, but it is a way to be able to work abroad. Right now for Europe, the only country that offers a working holiday visa is Ireland. The temporary work permit is valid for 12 months, and just know that there is a cutoff age. So if you're over 35, you won't be able to qualify for a working holiday visa in Ireland. All right, number 6 on the list is a Teach English visa. So this is not exactly working abroad in the sense of, sending a resume and getting hired to work for a company in Europe. And this is specific to certain countries. So the Teach English visa is mainly offered in Spain, although it is offered in France as well with some limitations. And also the Czech Republic has ways to be able to live there and teach English. But I'm going to specifically focus on Spain because that is the most popular program. So this program is called the North American Language and Cultural Assistant Program. There are a few different entities that offer spots for this program. And essentially this program allows native English speakers, generally in the US, Canada, the UK, and Australia. There are some other countries as well that may be able to qualify. And with this visa, you're able to live in Spain legally for the term of the school year. So that's about 9 months. And you will be working as a language assistant in a primary or secondary school. And with that, you get a stipend of anywhere from 700 to 1,000 euros a month, depending on which region in Spain you live. And you are also provided private health care. So I think it can be a really great program and a great way to get your foot in the door if Spain is where you want to be. It's probably going to be the easiest way to get to Spain, to be able to live here, unless if you have a lot of money and are able to qualify for the non-lucrative visa. That's a whole nother video that I can do, so I'm not going to get into that right now. But I did the Teaching English program in 2006 and again in 2015 here in Spain. And so for me, it was a great starting point. After I did the program in 2015, that's when I was able to get the work visa to work for the Spanish startup. And also with this program, you typically work about 12 to 16 hours a week, depending on which region you're at. But let me put a little asterisk here because your experience of the program is going to vary depending on which school you get assigned to. So some people have a really great experience with this program, which is my case, while others feel that they may have been taken advantage of in the sense that instead of being a language assistant, they were actually the main teacher. And you do not need to have teaching qualifications to apply or to qualify for this visa. And so for some people, it can be a negative experience and the reviews can be mixed. But if you want more information, check below. I'm going to drop a link to my blog where I have a post on the various programs in Spain for teaching English here. All right, number 7 on the list is a student visa or permit. So you may be wondering, how does a student visa qualify as a work visa? Well, I'm going to tell you how this works. So a student visa allows you to pursue a degree in a foreign country. And also in some countries, it'll allow you to also take language courses in an academy or other institutions. So the amount of time that you can live in a foreign country on a student visa is directly tied to the length of the program that you are taking. So once the program ends, you do typically have to leave the country. But with some programs in some countries, once you've graduated, you are able to get an extension that allows you to stay in the country to look for employment. And so a student visa is a great way if you're looking to go back to school, to pivot, to study something different, and to build that network that I was mentioning earlier about finding a work visa, how it is often easier if you already have a network. So it's a way to be able to live in your desired country, get an education, get that degree, and then get the extension so that you can look for work in the country that you're in. I'll also mention that in some cases, in some countries on a student visa, you are allowed to work part-time, but that will also vary from country to country. So to qualify for a student visa, you definitely need to have an acceptance letter from an accredited institution, as well as means of being able to support yourself. If you'd like more information on student visas, like I've mentioned with all the visas here, check out my digital book, I'm Out of Here. I have information on 17 different student visas in the 17 easiest countries to move to in Europe. All right, number 8 on the list. So this is supposed to be the last one, but I actually have 2 bonus for you. So let's talk about number 8 here, and that is residency through a spouse or partner. So not everyone listening here is going to have a European spouse or partner, but I did want to highlight this just in case if you do, because some people aren't aware of this. So if your partner is from a European country, you may be able to qualify for a residency visa / work visa if you are married, but you don't just have to be married. In some countries, such as Spain, it can be more of a civil union. The requirements for this type of visa, of course, is going to vary from country to country. For instance, in Spain, it even varies from region to region. And one of the requirements is that you do have to be living together in Spain for X amount of time before you can apply for this visa. So definitely if you're looking to move to the country that your spouse is from, or maybe to another European country that they're able to move to, you can look into see what the requirements are for you. And this could be your ticket into working in Europe. All right, so I have 2 bonus here, and they're not easy ways to get your foot in the door to work in Europe, but I do want to mention them just in case if they apply to anybody. So number 9 on the list here is an investment visa or permit. So of course, not everybody has an extra $250,000 to $500,000 lying around, but if you do and you're looking to move to Europe, you can possibly qualify for an investment visa by investing in real estate or property abroad, and this is often called a golden visa. It's kind of like a fast track to getting residency in a foreign country in Europe. And so with this residency, you are also able to work abroad in most cases in a European country. Of course, if you have this kind of money lying around, maybe you're not looking for work, but just wanted to let you know of this option as well. Some of the most popular countries that will take your money for residency are Spain, Portugal, and Greece. All right, we've made it to the last option here for those who are looking to work in Europe, and that is number 10, and it's getting citizenship through ancestry or descent. So this, of course, is not going to apply to everybody, and it's definitely not an easy or a fast route to getting your foot in the door to Europe, but it is a way to get citizenship in Europe and eventually be able to work here. So if your parents, grandparents, and sometimes even great-grandparents were from a European country, you may have the ability to qualify of getting citizenship through that ancestry and descent. So a huge perk of gaining European nationality is that if you get citizenship from a country that's in the Schengen zone or a member of the Schengen area, then not only can you work in the country that you got citizenship for, but with freedom of movement, you can work in any of the other countries that are in the Schengen area. If you'd like more information, I also wrote a guide about this, and I'll drop the link below on how to get European citizenship by descent in 28 countries, and those are 28 European countries. I do want to add here also, I may just do a whole separate video of this, but if you have citizenship from an Ibero-American country or the Philippines, so Ibero-American country are going to be countries located in Latin America, and there are specific ones, and I can't remember them all off the top of my head, but some are going to be Mexico, Colombia, I believe Panama, Venezuela, also Puerto Rico, even though it's not a country. But in my case, I recently was able to get Spanish citizenship, and I did that because I have Colombian citizenship through my mother. And so I was able to fast track my citizenship here in Europe. And now with citizenship, I'm able to work in Europe. Although that's not something I'm looking to do, it is always an option that I have now. So maybe I'll do a separate video on that. Let me know if you'd like more information, if anyone out there watching has their interest piqued and would like to know more. So we've made it to the end here, and I've given you 10, and not not 8, but 10 options here so that you now know what all your options are to get a work visa or permit for Europe. And as you can see, while it's not easy, it is not impossible. And if you need more resources, there's more information on everything I just talked about in my digital book, I'm Out of Here. You can find the link below. And if you're a woman age 30 and over, please join my Facebook group, She Hit Refresh, where you'll meet over 9,000 other women just like you who want to move abroad or who have already done so. You'll also find tons of information, inspiration, and resources to help you with your move abroad. And last, if you enjoyed this video, I'd love it if you gave me a like, subscribe to my channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss out on any move abroad content.